You okay? Yeah.
Okay, so the first step to taking out a bomber is probably just to try to get ioned in a convenient way, if that makes sense. So when I got ioned, I was shunting in the opposite direction, or sorry, I was boosting in the opposite direction, which means I was basically out of his sight. So activate your ICT again, Jin.
Okay, it's activated.
And I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so that's 1 hit, 2 hits, 3 hits. So do you see that? Like, even if he turns, by the time he turns around, I'm already free, right? Another thing you can do is if you take a little bit of damage, like, I don't know if you guys can see how ioned I am right now, but if I activate my repair kit, I will clean the ion off myself. And then you can just keep shooting. So that's, I guess, the first 2 main steps, just staying alive.
Go over
Now,
your
after-
power management again, if you could, real quick.
Sorry?
Repeat your power management steps again that you're doing.
Oh, so I'm boosting, and then I shunt to weapons, and then put laser to weapons.
Okay.
Or sorry, power to lasers. And then I put it back to engines.
And do you have like a 2-second delay between doing those steps?
Yep. Approximately.
Thank you.
Like, the reason I like to put my power back into engines is that I like the extra maneuverability it gives me. Okay. So, now because I'm running micro thrust, my drifts are going to be a lot longer. So, without activating your ICT, Jin, I'm just going to show you guys like how you want to ideally face a bomber. So, first, what you want to do is look at your radar. So, I don't know if you guys know what I mean, but you know where the distance is on your little circle on my interceptor. So I look at the distance, and then I pick an angle, and then that's when I start shooting. Right? And then even if he's facing me, I just pick another angle and then shoot again.
Yeah.
And then I do like that. Now here, I'm a bit too close, right? So if you feel like you're too close, just fly out a bit. Pay attention to your radar, because it's going to tell you when his nose is on you. And when his nose is on you again, then you start over. And then as soon as your boost or your drift runs out, you start again. Okay, so now I guess try to kill me, Jin.
Okay.
No ICT for this one though.
Okay.
I'm just gonna show what my drifting looks like. So I see he's pointing his nose at me now. I start my drift. I see he's pointing towards me, so I need a bit more space to start a good drift. I start my drift, and as you can see, he can't hit me, but I'm hitting him. So as soon as my drift runs out, I again fly away a bit, start my drift. I'm a bit too far, pick an angle. Okay. I again start my drift. I see he's turning his nose towards me, so I pick an angle and I start a drift. Shoot. And that's how you want to kill him. Okay, so I'm actually going to try to kill you.
Okay.
So ideally, like, your advantage as an interceptor is that you you can turn a lot faster than the bomber can. So during that time that the bomber's not on you, you can be on him. Did anyone have any questions or?
Sorry, I just joined. Joined. Are you guys in a custom?
Yeah, we're in a custom. You can, you should be able to see it in public. You can spectate. The password is Bomber Bonk.
It's BONK.
Got it. Whose name is it under?
Sorry?
It's Sitka.
It's under Sitka. Okay.
Yeah.
I have a question about your shunting to weapons. It looks like you have it set up to basically simultaneously move power to lasers and shunt to lasers. How important is it to do those perfectly simultaneously?
You don't have to do it like perfectly at the same time, but you definitely do want to do it when you're shooting, because I'll show you the difference. So right now my power is not in weapons. So if you see, my overcharged lasers run way faster. So here we'll time it. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 10 seconds of overcharged laser. Now if I don't put it into if I don't put power into lasers, this is what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you get about half, right?
Yeah.
And the other thing is that just drifting, like this action right here without me shooting, is going to charge power for me. So you see I already have a little bit of laser and a full bar of boost. I do another drift, I have more laser, I still have full bar of boost. Right? So that's why I like to do it that way. Most people just keep power in lasers and then shunt back and forth, but I like to try to preserve energy as much as possible, which is why I always put the power back to whatever I just shunted to. Any other questions?
I probably missed the beginning, but are these the two auxiliaries you use, repair and jammer? But
Yeah.
Is that your go-to?
Yeah, that's usually my go-to. I don't think you really need anything else against a bomber on Empire. Yeah, I don't really think you need anything else against a bomber because they're just so big, and your overcharged lasers do like so much damage already.
So a lot of bombers seem to be using the ray shield these days, which obviously takes less damage from lasers. Do you ever, notice that and then switch to something else like rockets or something?
Really, I never really have any issue with, like, at least on Interceptor, there's nothing that really beats the overcharged lasers. They're just so good. Like, they do so much damage and you got a bunch of range on them.
Yeah.
And they last forever as well, so. But yeah, like, is there anything else you guys struggle with, like, against bombers on Empire?
I think my struggle always in the Interceptor is just survivability.
Right. So right now it's a bit trickier to like show you guys that because this is just like a 1v1. But
were any of you guys hold me?
sorry?
Were any of you hold?
I don't think so, Caleb.
Okay.
What was that?
Well, I was upstairs and somebody popped in and out, and I was having trouble with my mic. So.
Oh, I see. Okay, so one of the key things that helps at least me be very survivable in my Interceptor is that whenever I'm shooting, it doesn't matter where, how, or like what I'm doing, I'm always drifting. So even if you're shooting at someone and someone tries to come and snipe you, they still have to like aim at a moving target, right? Even if you're moving in a straight line, you're still moving around, right? Whereas if you just fly straight at a bomber, right? It's very different. Apart from, getting annihilated instantly by rotary. So yeah, if you're struggling, oh yeah, the other thing you can do as well, obviously, is use your jammer. So let's say you're coming up on a bomber, like from behind, right? And you want to take him out, but you want to be safe that no one comes after you. So you pop your jammer, and then you you blast him, right? The other, like, usually what I like to do is if I'm taking more than, I'd say, like 2 to 3 seconds to kill a target, I usually pop my jammer. And I guess that's the other thing as well. As an interceptor, you don't want to stay on a target for too long. So, not necessarily not stay on a target, but like, I always do a few passes. So here I do one pass, I start another drift, I shoot again a little bit, and then if I don't take him out, I start another drift. Always being on the move is what helps you as an interceptor. If you're moving in a straight line, or if you're not drifting like every 2 to 3 seconds, then you're gonna get killed. Any other questions? Also, another thing, like on this build that I have right here with micro thrust, it's very important that you always manage your boost properly, because if you run out of boost on this build, then you're kind of pretty much dead, because like your max speed is very low, and even if your maneuverability is really high, you're gonna get killed because you can't be evasive at all. You don't have any speed. So I guess that's it for my interceptor guide, I guess. And if you want, we can switch to what's it called? We can switch to A-wing and bomber, yeah. Which I think is honestly a bit more interesting. I think most people do struggle quite a bit with the TIE bomber. Do you want to quit out, Jin, and then come back in?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. But I think the key thing, at least like from the perspective of the bomber, is to try to do it in multiple passes like he was doing.
Yeah. Yeah, usually bombers I don't tend to do in a full pass, especially not in the A-wing. Another thing that helps you stay alive is rotating through your targets every once in a while. So even if you're trying to focus someone, it's good to just see where everyone is at. Go through all the enemies, and then make sure that you're not make sure that no one's coming towards you.
Is it up yet or no?
Yeah, it should be still up. I'm just waiting for my thing to time out, so I go back to the waiting room.
Oh, yeah, I don't see it at
We're
all.
back in the room now. Go ahead.
Okay, let me. Yep. Okay, I see it now. Bomber bunk. Okay.
Okay, so let's put Galactic Empire, New Republic. All right. Okay, so for the bomber, it is quite a bit different, but the general philosophy is still the same. You want to do multiple passes on the bomber, except the way you fly is very different. So for this one, for the on A-wing, I like to run rapid fire, which means our range is going to be shortened by 400 meters. And then auxiliaries are the same. Particles is the same, chaff particles, and then dampener hull. I like to run nimble deflector, especially because with simple power management, that little bit of power you have in shields is really, really useful. Especially with nimble deflector, it'll charge your shields quite a bit, and you don't even realize, and then you have like a full bar of shields. And finally, I run standard engine. The reason why I run standard engine is because, well, the micro thrust is really bad on the A-wing. On the A-wing, it's like you need the speed because you don't have shunting, so you can't like always have boost. Then you need to always have at least speed, right? And then I don't find the acceleration that useful, especially since the more acceleration you have, the shorter your drifts are going to be. So that's why I don't like the propulsion engine. And finally, the thrust engine is just like, I don't even know. I've never really used it, to be honest. But I don't think it's that useful. I think I've tried it a couple times, but I don't find it that useful at all.
Now, I've seen a couple of A-wings use it with like mask, and so like they'll use jammer, they'll get masked, and then swoop in, do damage, and then swoop out before anybody can see them.
But you still have to wait for the jammer to come back, whereas like with this one, with my build, like you don't need jammer necessarily. Or yeah, you don't need jammer all the time. Okay. So for TIE bombers, what I like to do is so if you're facing me, Jin.
Okay, I'll face.
So it's the same thing. So I start boosting, I pick an angle, and then I start shooting. Okay, now let's say I'm out of boost, right? And he's facing towards me. So what I like to do is I like to corkscrew. So try to actually kill me, Jin, while I'm corkscrewing.
Yeah.
So as you can see, like because the A-wing has such a tiny hitbox, it's very, very hard to kill you, especially since you have speed as well, right? So when you're out of boost, you want to corkscrew. It doesn't matter if like they have their nose on you, as long as you're corkscrewing, you can charge your boost. Then I like to charge my shields a bit, and then I come in at an angle and shoot. Right? So once again, I'll show. It's actually very like it all happens really fast, but I'll show you what it looks like. I'll have no boost. Can you shoot me a bit more, Jin? Not too much though. Just enough to lower my shields a bit. A bit more. Okay, that's good. Okay, so I have like little to no shields. I'm gonna run out of boost in a second. Okay, and his nose is on me, so this is what I like to do. Now, corkscrewing works even if like you're going towards them, so you see like that. So I need a bit more space here to get a good drift going. So I see his nose is on me, I boost. That's one pass. Now ideally you want to try to take out supports first, especially on Empire, because otherwise you're never going to get a kill in a TIE bomber. Okay. So if you're going to be using rapid fire, the other thing you need to be aware of is that you have shorter range, right? So once again, it's very important that you keep your eye on your target on your radar, and just to be able to tell how far you are away from them.
Do you mind if I comment on that from just the other side? That's one of the. You mind if I comment on that from the other side? That's one of the reasons why I tell you guys as the bomber to try to stay away from the A-wings. Is because your rotary doesn't really have that much drop off, but there's standards and rapids do. So if you're like 500 yards out, they can't really kill you very well, but you can kill them.
Yeah, that's another, like, if you're playing a bomber, you want to stay within like the 600 to 1,000 meter range, especially with rotary, because you know it's so powerful. But yeah, as an interceptor, you want to close the distance. So I usually start boosting at around 700 meters, and then I drift. Sorry, no. I start boosting at around 1,000 meters, and then I start drifting at around 700 meters. So it looks like this. So I'm at 900 meters, 1,000 meters. I boost. I start my drift, and then there we go. So you want to actually try to do 1v1 for a second, Jin?
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Oh,
So that's what it looks like. Yes.
oh, I need to get some distance.
Oh, look at that shield.
Yep. So you also got to be aware of when bombers pop the assault shield, because you won't get any damage done there. So you might as well just get some distance, charge your boost. Also, as an A-wing, you should definitely try ramming. I'm not even joking. Like, on bombers, it's very effective when you ram. Like, if you have the upper hand, like if you have more HP, and you've taken them down to maybe like 10 hull, then it's usually going to be a win. So, and it saves you another pass, and it saves you like the trouble of having a support possibly bring them back. But yeah, like in your A-wing, you don't want to stay on target too long, or like, because as soon as you run out of your drift, you're basically dead in an A-wing. So I see he's got his nose turned towards me. I boost, I drift. The other thing is you got to remember to always put your shields to the front if you're targeting them. Okay. And you know, these are, for the most part, these are very simple, like, things. At least I'm not trying to like be a dick or anything, or like toot my own horn, but I think most of these things I do are very simple, but I do them well enough that I can take down bombers. Like, I don't have issues with bombers like Mindfed. Mindfed is pretty easy. Pretty much almost any bomber I face is very, very easy to face. Your hardest opponent in an A-wing is going to be a defender, and probably tanky TIE defenders as well.
Oh, when you say tanky TIE defenders, did you mean the TIE fighter or actual?
Oh, sorry,
defender?
tanky TIE fighters. That's what I meant. Sorry. So, does anyone have any questions?
So one thing in the A-wing that I typically don't use is the repair function, because I feel like once your shield is gone, it's pretty much game over anyway. Do you find the repair function pretty useful?
Oh yeah, it is very useful, especially since you already have like such low health and like shield. I mean, even though you have low health and shield, it's still really useful. Especially, like I said, if you run nimble shield, like it doesn't matter if your repair kit can buy you a couple seconds, because your shield will repair itself over time if you're running simple power management. So here, Jid, can you hit me for a bit?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
What's the passcode, guys, to get in?
Bomber Bonk, BONK.
Capital B?
No, just all lower caps.
Okay.
Or lowercase.
My bad.
Okay, no, it's okay. Oh, I think I charged him. Okay, can you hit me?
Give me 1
Just-
second. Sorry.
Just a little bit.
Bomber bonk. Okay, where are you?
Right here. Just enough to get my shields. A bit more. Okay, so here I have like little to no shield, but as you can see, like with the nimble shield, it's charging already, and I don't have any power in shields. It's not going to overcharge it, but it's still useful. And I can't count how many times like repair has saved my ass, honestly. Like even if you have low health. Any other questions?
Question about power management in
Sure.
the A-Wing. Do you pretty much do the same thing you do in the TIE Interceptor, leaving power to engines as much as possible, and then just shifting to weapons to drift, and then maybe to shields if you need to recharge?
Yeah.
Or is it? Do you even bother with shields most of the time?
No, I
with the nimble?
definitely do bother with shields a lot because having overcharged shields and like the benefit of nimble shield is that you can recharge your shields really fast. So it's always good to shift to shield and and charge some. So what I like to do is whenever I'm initiating a joust, I pretend that Jin is behind me, is I'll boost a bit, I'll shift my power to shields first, and then once I'm ready to go and actually attack, then I'll shift my power to lasers. So at like full speed it looks like this. So maybe I'm corkscrewing, I'm out of boost for a bit, I charge boost, and then I shift power to shields, get some overcharged shields for the joust, and then shift power to lasers, and then attack. And then while I'm also doing that, I'm also shifting my my shields to the front. So once again, it looks like this. So can you just maybe pretend you're chasing me, Jin? Or no, don't pretend. Just like actually try to kill me for a second.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have my. I'm gonna let him hit me a bit. Here, actually just hit me some more and then you can actually try to kill me.
Oh,
okay.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Go. No, it's okay. Try to kill me. Okay, so I charge my shields and now I'm ready to attack. Right? So I'm charging some boost. I'm charging some shield now. I'm ready to attack. And then that's how I do it. So I'm corkscrewing, I'm charging shield, shift my shields to the front. And there we go. And then I just do it again. I do it in multiple passes. Right, so that's usually my attack loop, pretty much. So I don't know. I think you guys will find it useful a little bit how it looks from Jin's perspective. I don't know if any of you have been watching him, but I think it's useful because then you can see kind of like why it's so hard to hit my A-wing, even though like most of these movements are pretty simple. So if you shift your perspective, like the corkscrewing looks like this from his perspective. So even though he's at like 500 meters from me, it's still kind of hard to hit. Okay, now my attack loop looks like this, or if I'm jousting, it looks like this. And then I'm charging shield.
Why are you so hard to hit during the attack loop? Like,
Well, if you look at Jin's perspective, you'll see what it actually looks like. But basically, I pick an angle I pick like it's a about 45-degree angle from where the bomber is. So don't shoot me right now, Jin.
okay.
But if you shift your perspective to mine, wait, no, Jin, go to like about, stay there. Yeah, there you go, stay there. Okay. So if you look at my perspective, this is me going straight at him. So what I like to do is I pick it about a 45-degree angle. I boost in that direction, and then I drift. And that makes my A-wing really hard to hit. So from my perspective, it looks like this. I'm not gonna hit you, Jin, but from my perspective, it looks like this. And it really does look like you're moving really slowly. It really does, but you're actually moving really fast. So I pick it about 45-degree angle, boost, drift. You know, I'm aiming. Okay, so one more time. So I boost, drift. Okay, and then I continue on my way. So if you shift now your perspective to Jin's perspective, you'll see that I'm actually moving really fast, even though it looks like I'm moving slow from my end. Okay, so I'm here. I boost about, and I boosted an angle, and then I drift and shoot. I boost an angle. Alright. I have an emergency right now, so maybe you guys can try to practice on your own, but I gotta go for a second.
Yeah, no worries.
Hey, thanks, Sitka. I've got to go as well, guys, because I've got some kids who won't stay in bed, but I'm going to practice this stuff later.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I'm also probably gonna head out. I gotta work in the morning and get a little shut eye. I guess everybody has work in the morning, but anyway, have a good one.
Yep. All right.
Oh, wish I'd have stayed on. I would have been on for that one a little longer.
Crazy had took a recording of it, so
Yeah, I have a
you'll be
recording.
able to rewatch every single one of my deaths.
In fact, I'm gonna
I'm
go
just
ahead
going
and
to say it
stop
out
that
loud. I
stream.
think there's enough of us for a ranked if we want to do that.
I need to go to sleep. I'm like dying here.
Bye, Jen.